Get ready, Bitcoin Bulletin is live. We're diving headfirst into the biggest crypto news hitting the wires today. First up, a Japanese titan just made a massive move, stacking more Bitcoin than ever before. Then, the digital gold rush is heating up as Bitcoin mining difficulty hits an all-time high, squeezing profits for some. But hold on, a new African firm is making waves, aiming to build a massive BTC treasury. And finally, a Wall Street giant is throwing out a mind-blowing price target for Bitcoin that you won't want to miss. Stick around, you're watching Bitcoin Bulletin. Metaplanet just shattered its own Bitcoin record. Japan's own Metaplanet, a company laser-focused on Bitcoin, has just dropped jaws with another colossal purchase, adding a staggering $15.2 million worth of BTC to its coffers. This isn't just any purchase. It's the acquisition that pushes their total Bitcoin holdings past the incredible 20,000 BTC mark, officially hitting 20,136 BTC. This bold move by Metaplanet shows an unwavering conviction in Bitcoin's long-term potential, even when the market gets choppy, signaling a powerful endorsement from a major corporate player in the crypto space. They're not just dabbling, they're aggressively accumulating, with an eye on a massive 210,000 BTC goal, proving that institutional confidence in digital gold is reaching new heights. The crypto community is buzzing, cheering Metaplanet's aggressive strategy as a sign of growing institutional adoption and a bullish indicator for Bitcoin's future. Analysts are watching closely, noting how this mirrors the conviction shown by U.S. firms, while reminding everyone of the inherent risks in such high-stakes, volatile markets. But is this aggressive accumulation sustainable? And what does it mean for the miners trying to keep up? Next, we'll dive into the Bitcoin mining difficulty hitting an all-time high. Bitcoin miners face an all-time high challenge. The race to mine Bitcoin just got a whole lot tougher. The network's mining difficulty has officially surged to a new all-time high of 136 trillion, a significant jump from the previous record. This means miners need even more computational power to validate transactions and earn those precious rewards, putting serious pressure on profitability, especially for smaller operations. It's the fifth consecutive increase, showing more miners are joining the network, which is great for security but tough on margins. This surge in difficulty means increased operational costs for electricity and cooling, while revenue per terahash is falling. Smaller miners with older equipment are feeling the squeeze the most, potentially forcing them to shut down or sell reserves. Meanwhile, larger, publicly traded mining firms with access to better financing and hedging strategies are better positioned to weather this storm. In a related development, American Bitcoin, backed by Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump, has now gone public on Nasdaq, adding another layer to the evolving mining landscape. While miners grapple with rising difficulty, other players are looking to expand their Bitcoin reserves in new territories. Get ready for a story about Africa's bold new Bitcoin treasury plan. Africa's bold move. A new firm eyes $200 million for Bitcoin treasury. Bitcoin is holding steady above $111,000 as the market watches for new catalysts, but the real excitement is brewing in Africa. A Johannesburg-based firm, Altvest Capital, is making a groundbreaking announcement. They plan to raise a massive $210 million to purchase Bitcoin. This isn't just about accumulating crypto. They're rebranding as Africa Bitcoin Corp and aiming to become the first listed African company to make Bitcoin a core part of its treasury assets. This strategy allows pension funds and unit trusts that can't directly hold Bitcoin to gain regulated exposure through equity, echoing the successful playbook of companies like Japan's Metaplanet and U.S. giant MicroStrategy. The market is reacting positively to this innovative approach to corporate Bitcoin adoption, seeing it as a significant step for regulated crypto exposure in Africa. While Altvest's current market cap is modest, their strategy of using equity issuance to fund long-term Bitcoin reserves is validating the concept, especially as Bitcoin has nearly doubled over the past year. This move comes amidst broader market dynamics, including U.S. inflation data and shifts in Japanese government bonds, which are keeping traders on their toes. But the African adoption story is adding a compelling new narrative. But what if Bitcoin's potential is even greater than we imagine? We're talking about a price target that could redefine digital wealth. Bitcoin to $400,000. A $100 billion asset manager says yes. Get ready for a price prediction that's turning heads. VanEck, the CEO of the massive $100 billion asset management firm, VanEck, believes Bitcoin could skyrocket to $400,000. His reasoning? He sees Bitcoin as digital gold, a scarce asset with consistent and growing demand. With Bitcoin's supply tightening after the recent halving and corporate buyers absorbing more BTC than is being issued daily, VanEck argues the path is clearly upwards. This isn't just a random forecast. VanEck has a long history with crypto, filing for Bitcoin ETFs as early as 2017, and even pledging to donate 5% of its spot Bitcoin ETF profits to the Bitcoin Corp developers, showing deep commitment. This bold call from a respected figure in traditional finance is fueling excitement, reinforcing Bitcoin's narrative as a store of value. While analysts caution against fixating on specific price targets, they agree that the underlying thesis of engineered supply constriction and increasing institutional adoption is strong. The key takeaway for investors is to focus on the long-term strategy, like dollar-cost averaging, as capital increasingly views Bitcoin as a permanent asset. Of course, risks like macro liquidity tightening and regulatory changes remain, but the overall sentiment from major players like VanEck is undeniably bullish. And that's just a taste of what's happening in the crypto world. We've got a packed show for you, so stay tuned. And that's a wrap on today's Bitcoin Bulletin. We saw Metaplanet hit a new Bitcoin milestone, the mining difficulty surge creating challenges, Africa Bitcoin Corp making a historic Treasury play, and a $100 billion firm predicting Bitcoin could reach $400,000. Don't miss out on any of the action. Smash that like button, subscribe to Bitcoin Bulletin for all your crypto news, ring that notification bell so you never miss an update, drop a comment with your thoughts, and follow us on all our social channels for more. We'll see you next time.